Welcome back to Worth Old Coins. Today, we have a very special video. We're showcasing 6 amazing coins from around the world, each with its own unique history, design, and hidden value, from classic U.S. nickels to rare international coins. These pieces may look small, but they carry big stories and surprising market values. Stay with me till the end. The last coin is truly a hidden treasure that will shock you. First, the Jefferson nickel series began in 1938. Replacing the Buffalo nickel. Its design honors Thomas Jefferson, 3rd President of the United States, his famous home Monticello, represented on the coin's reverse. The 1964 nickel belongs to the classic original design, used from 1938 to 2003. Why 1964 is a special year? 1964 holds a unique place in U.S. coin history for many reasons. High demand and shortage of coins. During the early 1960s, the U.S. experienced a major coin shortage due to increased vending machines, industrial coin demand, hoarding of silver coins. To solve this shortage, the U.S. Mint massively increased nickel production. Final year before major coinage changes. 1964 was the last year before the U.S. removed silver from many coins. Even though nickels didn't contain silver, collectors still pay attention to 1964 because it marks the end of the pre-1965 traditional era, extremely high mintage. The U.S. Mint produced over 2 billion nickels in 1960, for the highest nickel mintage in U.S. history at that time. Because of this huge mintage, 1964 nickels are not extremely rare, but collectors value them in high grades such as very fine, extra fine, or uncirculated. Obverse front, portrait of Thomas Jefferson. The words, "In God we trust, liberty." The year 1964 reverse, back. Image of Monticello, Jefferson's home. E pluribus unum, United States of America, 5 cents. This classic design remained unchanged for decades, making it a favorite among American coin collectors. Metal, 75% copper, 25% nickel. Weight, 5 grams. Diameter, 21.2 mm. Unlike older wartime nickels, 1942 to 1945, the 1964 nickel does not contain silver. Although billions were minted, most 1964 nickels were heavily circulated, became scratched, worn, or damaged, lost their original shine. Coins in very fine condition, with sharp details and clean surfaces, are harder to find today. Collectors look for sharp Monticello lines, clear lettering, defined Jefferson facial features. So a VF-grade 1964 nickel still holds collector interest. Market value today, very fine condition. Now comes the important part. How much is your 1964 nickel worth? Very fine condition value, 15 cents to 30 cents USD. This is the standard collector value. If slightly better, extra fine, 50 cents to $1 uncirculated condition, $2 to $8 USD. Rare full steps variety. Some 1964 nickels with full steps on Monticello can sell for $100 to $500 plus. But these are rare and mostly in high mint state grades. For very fine condition, your coin has modest but real collector value. Why collectors keep the 1964 nickel? Collectors love this coin because it marks the end of the early nickel era. It's affordable and easy to collect. Some varieties are extremely valuable. Finding high-grade older nickels is becoming harder. It's a classic American design admired worldwide. Even in very fine condition, it's a piece of U.S. history worth saving. So this was the complete history, background, and market value of the United States of America, 5-cent 1964 nickel in very fine condition. This coin may not contain silver, but it carries historical importance. A classic American design, a stable collector demand, and interesting value in today's market. Next, the Jefferson nickel series began in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel. It features Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and his famous home Monticello on the reverse. The 1970 nickel is part of the classic Jefferson design era, 1938 to 2003, making it a popular collectible. Why the 1970D nickel is noteworthy? 1970 marked the end of the 1960s coin era. The D mint mark indicates it was minted in Denver, which produced fewer nickels than Philadelphia in some years. Many 1970 nickels were heavily circulated, so high-grade coins are harder to find today. Collectors often search specifically for mint marks to complete their set's obverse front. Portrait of Thomas Jefferson facing left. The words, "In God We Trust Liberty," inscribed year 1970. Small D mint mark near the date. Reverse, back, Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia home, E pluribus unum. United States of America. Denomination, 5 cents. The design remained unchanged for decades, making it a classic favorite for collectors. Metal, 75% copper, 25% nickel. Weight, 5 grams. Diameter, 21.2 mm. Mint, Denver, D mint mark. Unlike wartime nickels, 1942 to 1945. The 1970 nickel contains no silver. Its durability makes very fine condition coins relatively scarce today. Even though millions were minted, many 1970 nickels were heavily circulated, became scratched or worn, lost their original shine. A very fine grade coin shows moderate wear, but all major design details remain visible. Collectors particularly value clean Monticello steps, sharp Jefferson facial features, clear D mint mark. These coins are essential for anyone completing a 1970 nickel set. Market value today, 2025. Very fine condition, 25 cents to 75 cents USD for standard collectors. Extra fine condition, $1 to $3 uncirculated, $4 to $8 USD. Rare varieties / full steps error. Some 1970 nickels with full steps or die errors may sell for $50 to $200 plus USD, depending on rarity and grading. Even in very fine condition, this coin has modest collector value and is highly sought for set completion. Why collectors value the 1970 nickel? Part of the classic Jefferson nickel series. Includes a D mint mark, important for mint set collectors. Over 50 years old and still in circulation quality condition. Relatively hard to find in high grades. Some varieties or errors can increase value dramatically. The United States 5-cent 1970 nickel is more than just a small coin. It represents American history. Iconic Jefferson design. Mint mark collectible importance. In very fine condition, it may not fetch a huge price, but it's a valuable piece for collectors, especially those completing mint sets or looking for rare varieties. If you have coins like this at home, keep them safe. The value could rise in the future. Next, the Jefferson nickel series began in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel. It features Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and his home, Monticello. On the reverse, the 1971 nickel falls into the classic Jefferson design era, 1938 to 2003. Making it an important coin for collectors of mid-20th century U.S. nickels. 1971 marked a period of massive nickel production as the U.S. economy was expanding. The D mint mark shows it was minted in Denver, one of the key U.S. mint locations. Circulated coins from this period were heavily used, so high-grade coins are harder to find today. Collectors often focus on mint marks, as they are important for completing mint sets or spotting rarities. Obverse front. Portrait of Thomas Jefferson facing left. Words, "In God We Trust." Liberty inscribed year 1971. D mint mark near the date. Reverse, back, Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia home. E pluribus unum, United States of America. Denomination 5 cents. This classic design remained mostly unchanged for decades, making it a favorite for both new and veteran collectors. Composition and specifications. Metal, 75% copper, 25% nickel. Weight, 5 grams. Diameter, 21.2 mm. Mint, Denver D mint mark. Unlike wartime nickels, the 1971 nickel contains no silver, but its copper-nickel composition keeps it durable and collectible in high-grade conditions. Rarity and collector interest. Even though millions of 1971 D nickels were minted, many were heavily circulated. Coins in extra fine condition show light wear on high points. Most design details fully visible. Clear lettering and Monticello steps. Sharp D mint mark. These factors make XF coins highly sought after by collectors, especially those completing a 1971 mint set. Market value today, 2025. Extra fine condition value 75 cents to $1.50 USD, depending on condition and collector demand. If graded uncirculated, MS. $2 to $6 USD. To rare varieties / full steps era, certain 1971D nickels with full steps on Monticello can sell for $50 to $200 plus USD depending on condition. Extra fine condition strikes a balance between affordability and collector appeal, perfect for hobbyists. Why collectors value the 1971D nickel? Collectors value this coin because part of the classic Jefferson nickel series. Includes the Denver D mint mark. Over 50 years old and durable. XF coins are harder to find than circulated examples. Some varieties, like full steps or double dies, significantly increase value. Even a standard XF coin is a must-have for collectors completing their 1971 set. The United States 5-cent 1971D nickel in extra fine condition is more than a small coin. It represents American history. Iconic Jefferson design. Collectible mint mark importance. While not extremely rare, it's a valuable addition to any coin collection, especially for collectors completing sets or hunting for high-grade coins. Next, the Jefferson nickel series began in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel obverse. Portrait of Thomas Jefferson, 3rd U.S. President. Reverse, Jefferson's home, Monticello. The 1973 nickel is part of this classic design era, which remained mostly unchanged for decades. 1973 was part of the modern Jefferson nickel era, 1965 to 1981. These coins are not made of silver, unlike pre-1965 coins. Coins from this period were heavily circulated, so extra fine condition examples are more valuable. Collectors often focus on mint marks, D for Denver, S for San Francisco. To complete sets, obverse front. Portrait of Thomas Jefferson, facing left. Inscription, In God We Trust. Liberty. Year 1973, reverse back. Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia home. E pluribus unum, United States of America, denomination, 5 cents. This clean and classic design makes it one of the most recognizable coins in U.S. history. Metal, 75% copper, 25% nickel. Weight, 5 grams. Diameter, 21.2 mm. Mint marks, Philadelphia, no mark, Denver, D, San Francisco, S-proof coins. The copper-nickel composition ensures the coin is durable and keeps a good grade over decades, if well preserved, even though millions of 1973 nickels were minted. Coins in extra fine condition are much harder to find because most were heavily circulated. Wear on Monticello steps and Jefferson's hair reduces grade. Clear mint marks are rare in condition. Collectors want complete year sets, including 1973. Extra fine coins show minimal wear but retain nearly all design details, making them highly desirable. Market value today, 2025. Extra fine condition, 50 cents to $1.50 USD, depending on mint mark and eye appeal. Uncirculated condition, $5 to $10 for standard coins, $10 plus USD for proof or special issues. Rare varieties / full steps error. Some 1973 nickels with full steps on Monticello can fetch $75 to $180 USD in high grades. Even in extra fine condition, this coin is a collectible piece that appeals to both beginners and experienced collectors. Why collectors value the 1973 nickel? Collectors love this coin because part of the classic Jefferson nickel series. Clean Monticello details are rare in circulated coins, useful for completing mint and year sets. Affordable entry point for new collectors. Some varieties and mint errors can increase value significantly even if it seems ordinary. The 1973 nickel has historical and numismatic importance. The United States 5-cent 1973 nickel in extra fine condition is more than a small coin. It is a piece of American history, part of a timeless Jefferson design, a collectible item for hobbyists, a coin with stable market value and potential for growth. So, if you have a 1973 nickel in XF condition, keep it safe. It's a valuable addition to any collection. The Jefferson nickel series started in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel obverse. Portrait of Thomas Jefferson reverse. Jefferson's home, Monticello. The 1974 nickel is part of the classic Jefferson design era, 1938 to 2003. Even though it's a modern nickel, Collectors still pay attention to coins from this decade's significance of the 1974 nickel. The 1970s marked a period of massive nickel production, but circulation was high. The D.Mint mark shows it was minted in Denver, which is important for mint set. Collectors' coins from this year in dirty or worn condition are common, but they can still hold small collector value. Collectors often look for mint mark presence, D for Denver. Full Monticello steps, rare. Less common varieties. Obverse, front, portrait of Thomas Jefferson, facing left. Words, "In God We Trust," Liberty inscribed. Year 1974 D-Mint mark near the date. Reverse, back, Monticello, Jefferson's home. E pluribus unum, United States of America, denomination, 5 cents. The design is classic and timeless, and collectors still enjoy finding even worn examples. Metal, 75% copper, 25% nickel. Weight, 5 grams. Diameter, 21.2 mm. Mint Denver D-Mint mark. Even in dirty condition, the coin is durable and long-lasting, which is why many 1974 nickels survive today. Dirty condition and collector perspective. A dirty condition coin shows heavy circulation, dirt, stains, or surface oxidation. Worn high points, Jefferson's face and Monticello steps. Even with wear, these coins are collected for completing mint sets or historical collections. Dirty coins are generally low value individually, but they still hold numismatic interest. Market value today, 2025. Dirty/circulated condition, 5 to 15 cents USD, depending on eye appeal. Better condition, $3.50 to $8 USD. Extra fine/uncirculated, $5 to $10 USD, depending on mint mark and collector demand. Rare varieties/full steps. Some 1974 D nickels with full steps on Monticello or minor die errors may fetch $50 to $120 USD even in circulated condition. So even a dirty coin is not entirely worthless, especially if it has a rare variety. Why collectors keep dirty coins? Collectors keep these coins because it's part of the classic Jefferson nickel series. The D-Mint mark is important for completing Denver sets over 40 years old, representing 1970s American history. Rare full steps or minor errors can increase value. Even circulated coins are useful for teaching beginners about coin collecting. The United States 5-cent 1974 D nickel in dirty condition may not fetch high prices, but it represents U.S. history and classic coin design, a collectible piece for completing sets. Potential for small market value, especially if it has rare features. Even worn, dirty coins like this are still a valuable part of numismatic history. Next, introduced in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel, features Thomas Jefferson on the obverse. Reverse features his home Monticello. The 1977 nickel is part of the classic Jefferson design era, 1938 to 2003, which has remained largely unchanged and continues to be a collector favorite. Significance of the 1977 nickel. The 1970s were a period of massive nickel production, but many coins were still lost or heavily circulated. Collectors pay attention to mint marks for set completion. Philadelphia, no mint mark. Denver D. The 1977 nickel is over 45 years old, making high-grade examples rarer today. Collectors often look for coins in extra fine or better condition to preserve details of Jefferson's portrait and Monticello. Obverse, front, portrait of Thomas Jefferson, facing left. Words, "In God We Trust," Liberty inscribed. Year 1977. Mint mark near the date, D for Denver, if applicable. Reverse, back. Image of Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia home. E pluribus unum, United States of America, denomination, 5 cents. The classic and simple design makes this nickel timeless and easy to identify for collectors. Metal, 75% copper, 25% nickel. Weight, 5 grams. Diameter, 21.2 mm. Mint marks, Philadelphia, no mark. Denver D. The durable copper-nickel composition ensures that extra fine coins can survive decades with minimal wear. Even though millions were minted in 1977, extra fine condition coins are relatively rare due to circulation. Collectors look for clear Jefferson facial details, sharp Monticello steps on the reverse, well-preserved lettering and mint mark. Extra fine coins show light, wear on high points, but retain nearly all original detail, making them desirable for collectors who want higher-grade coins without paying for uncirculated examples. Market value today, 2025. Extra fine condition $2.50 to $5.50 USD, depending on mint mark and visual appeal. Uncirculated condition $5 to $10 USD, depending on mint and overall quality. Rare varieties full steps. Certain 1977 nickels, with full steps on Monticello or minor die errors, can sell for $50 to $150 plus USD, even if not in pristine condition. So even though the 1977 nickel was widely minted, extra fine examples are valuable for collectors completing mint sets. Why collectors value the 1977 nickel? Collectors love this coin because part of the classic Jefferson nickel series, represents mid-1970s American coinage history useful for completing mint and year sets. Extra fine coins retain most of the original design details. Some rare varieties or mint errors increase market value significantly. Even standard extra fine coins are important for collectors aiming for complete Jefferson nickel collections. The United States 5-cent 1977 nickel in extra fine condition is more than just a small coin. It represents classic American history iconic Jefferson design mint mark importance for collectors. While not extremely rare, it's a valuable addition to any collection. Extra fine coins like this strike the perfect balance between affordability and collector value. So if you have a 1977 nickel in extra fine condition, keep it safe. It's a collectible piece of U.S. coinage history. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Worth Old Coins for more videos on rare coins, classic U.S. nickels, and hidden numismatic treasures.